get information on the extent of their injuries. We have no reports at this moment of fatalities, and we certainly hope it stays that way. But this is the scene right now in Northeast Philadelphia. We've been following this breaking news for over an hour now. If you're just joining us, we got reports shortly after 6 o'clock that the plane went down. Well, first we had reports of a fire and explosion. Then it was known that it was a small plane, and we've learned that plane was a Learjet, a rescue air ambulance that had just taken off from Northeast Philadelphia Airport. That's the traffic you saw there during that video, looking at a still picture now, with that video of traffic, people on the road just trying to find another way to their destination, simply because this area will be cordoned off for quite some time as the investigation continues. And as far as the investigation, G, what are they going through right now as far as the weather?
Well, you know,
because we want to get to Joe. Go ahead, real quick.
Sure, real quick. I mean, we've got some light showers moving through the area, so as all these responders are getting out there, they're going to be battling some light showers. I mean, I guess if we can try to find some silver lining from a weather standpoint, is that temperatures are above freezing. So they're in the upper 40s right now. It's not that Arctic cold that we had last week. So as they get out, they're going to be, they won't have to combat the weather as much as they otherwise would. It's not snow, it's not ice, It is rain, and that makes things more difficult. But temperatures are in the upper 40s, and and that's obviously better than what we had last week.
The investigation goes on, and our investigative reporter Joe Holden is on the phone, and I believe, Joe, you have some new information.
Yeah, Yuki, you know what? You've been sort of talking about it as I've been here working my sources. We can confirm that several people, according to Philadelphia police sources, were on this plane. You've described it. Crew communicated some difficulty to air traffic control, and that would be Philadelphia approach control, because they would have been on that frequency at the time. And the second thing is the cockpit voice recorder, because that Learjet 55 would have been equipped with a cockpit voice recorder.
But you're saying in that debris field,
the inspection process is a fairly extensive one, and I would add that Lear 55s, just like most jets, rarely fail catastrophically. So this is something special to look at.
Can you put into words out just the size? I was just curious, the size of a Learjet 55. Can you compare it to anything that might add a little bit more perspective of how large this plane is?
Yeah, I would call it about half the size of one of the small airliners, like the Bombardier, the CRJ, for example. It's about half that size.
Wow, half that size. And pilots, obviously, experience plays a role, but if it indeed was a malfunction, an experienced pilot can't do much with that at all.
Well, you do what you can, and you do what you're trained for. And if something happens that is beyond your capacity to fix it, especially at low altitude and in low visibility, then a crash happens. But again, I'm really speculating, and I hate to do that, but Lear 55s don't come out of the sky like this one did, I can tell you that. And something obviously overcame the capabilities of the pilot to deal with whatever this problem was.
Unbelievable. When you first heard the news and when you saw this, what immediately went through your mind from a personal standpoint?
Well, I'm always, in tune with this stuff because I'm flying a jet myself.
Right.
And I obviously try to be as cautious as I can. But when things occur, like in bad weather, like tonight, what happens is the risk factors go up because you don't have the ability to see outside. The ceiling at the Northeast Philadelphia Airport was 700 feet overcast, which means the clouds are 700 feet above the ground. The visibility was good under the clouds, about 7 miles at the time of the crash. But every single thing that is not perfect adds to the difficulty when something goes wrong. So if the weather's good, maybe if something goes wrong, it's a little easier to deal with.